All right, everyone, so you want to learn how I nearly 5x my revenue in a 12-month period, right? So we are up to step 4 now, the budget. Right, let me pick a pen color. So step 4, the budget. Your budget is, this is a unicorn, believe it or not. Unicorn and rainbows. Shouldn't really do a black rainbow, but this is your utopia, right? Your budget is your utopia, your unicorn and rainbows. Now, I see so many clients and accountants doing the budget wrong. The number of accountants that I see doing budgets wrong is astounding, right? Astounding. They give you budgets that will not show you how to make money, okay? Now, with your budget, it's just as important as your goals, but it needs to be correct, right? First off, make sure you're doing an accurate budget, and I'm going to give you a high-level summary of things you need to be looking out for. We're going to do a totally different video of deep dive how to do a budget, right? But this is just a high level. Are you doing these things? Is your accountant doing these things? If they're not, your budget's rubbish. Guaranteed, 101% guaranteed it is rubbish. All right, now, first of all, your budget must align to your business plan and your goals. It must agree to it, right? You've got to make sure they work in alignment. So for example, if your business plan says that you want to go from 1 location to 2 locations in this year that you're doing the budget for, the budget is for a full year. Okay, if you do not have enough profits to be able to afford that additional location, you either need to increase your profits in your budget if possible, or reduce the location. You need to make sure they're aligned. So you're going to have to find compromises between the two of them, right? Now, how we have got family success within the Hobson family here, her name's Hayley Hobson, is we look at our business and our personal budget. Now, if you think back to the business plan, we get you to do your business and personal vision. You need to do the same thing with your budget too. Now, I recommend, and this is what we do your personal budget in Xero and track your personal finances in Xero. You need to watch your numbers like a hawk, right? Some people just don't watch their numbers because they're in denial, right? But your numbers will shrink if you don't watch them. If you watch them like a hawk, you will grow your numbers, you will stay accountable, you will be honest with yourself, right? So do a personal budget too. Put it in Xero, track where you're going wrong. Put departments where you're spending too much money. I actually had a friend who couldn't pay for a kid's activity, and I'm like, but you drink a bottle of wine a night. If you tracked how much that wine cost you and how much you could save if you stopped drinking wine, I bet you could afford your kids' activity, right? Just be honest with yourself. Track these numbers. Okay, so you should be doing a personal and business budget, and you should be tracking both in Xero, right? Okay, so when you do the budget, what we need to do as well, so check that your accountant does this or that you do this if you're doing it yourself. You have departments. Your budget is split down by departments. Now let me explain that a bit better. I call them profit centers, right? But I use the word departments as well when I'm trying to explain it. It's just easier to understand. Imagine you've got a massive department store, such as Marks and Spencer's, John Lewis, Selfridges, whatever. You've got a big department store, or you've even got a supermarket, right? And these supermarkets have different departments. It has wine, crackers, cheese, whatever. You are going to want to track how each department is doing, each profit center is doing, right? Why do you want to do that? You want to make sure that you're tracking the gross profit percentage in each department, and it is staying consistent, and it is coming in line with budget. Now let me explain that a bit more. If we think of John Lewis, right? A department store. You've got cosmetics and women's wear. Cosmetics takes up a massive floor space. So that might need to return a better gross profit margin than women's clothing because it needs to cover more of the rent, as an example. Now, also looking at departments, this one isn't, let me explain it first. A restaurant. I had a restaurant once and I divided it into different departments, being nighttime service and daytime service. And do you know what we found? This restaurant was struggling. So we split their times into departments. They were losing money every single lunchtime sitting at a gross profit level before overheads. So they were better off not opening at lunchtime at all because they lost money. But nighttime was making money. But because they reported everything just sales and cost, they just saw it was making money overall, but lunchtime was actually losing money every time they opened. So what they needed to decide is either close at lunchtime or put some marketing in it and get lunchtime working. But they didn't know that until they split it into two different departments. They got the story of what was going wrong. All right, so you need to do departments. And I'll show you, without doing departments, you are taking an average of an average when it comes to your margin and gross profit margin, and this number is so key, and an average of an average mathematically doesn't work. It will give you the wrong data and you won't be able to improve your numbers to grow your business, right? Also remember to make sure when you do your budget, you're reporting month by month by month by month. And if you've got seasonality in there, such you're a restaurant in a tourist destination, you need to know your low months and your high months because your budget is going to feed into your cash flow reporting. And your cash flow reporting is the oxygen in your business, right? So you need to do your budget by departments and by months. So important. All right. I'm going to show you why departments and averages of averages and why units and margin are so important. Like I just said before, this gross profit percentage, so gross profit is your sales less your direct cost. So your sales less your direct cost equals your gross profit, right? This is before overheads. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That is before any overheads, right? And that's your gross profit dollars and your gross profit percentage. Now, how I like to look at it is, if you sell something for $100 and you charge your suppliers, so just you're a restaurant, right? You sell a meal for $100, it costs you $80 to buy the lettuce, the steak, the whatever else, and you make $20, right? That means that's $20 gross profit, that's the dollars, but that is 20% gross profit margin. And you are spending 80% on buying stuff, and that is 100%. Those two need to come to 100, right? So what this is saying then is for every $100 you get in from your customer, you're spending $80 and making $20. So that's what the percentages say, right? So even if this example was different numbers, so it was $200, 160 equals 40, you would still have 20% here, 80% here, and 100% here, right? So the dollars have changed, but the percentage has not. So this is still saying for every $100 you get in, you're spending 80 buying stuff and you're making $20 before any overheads, right? So this percentage tells you so much information. It tells you if you're working harder or smarter, right? Harder or smarter, because the higher this percentage is, you are working smarter. You've got a better margin, okay? You've got a better margin. If this percentage is low, you're working harder. You've got to sell more units to make the same amount of dollars. So this percentage is so key, but people take averages of an average and it doesn't work. Now let me explain that. Okay. I've taken an example here, and this is just made up. I don't have any artists as clients currently, but I've got an artist for a client. This is example 1 and that's example 2. They sell their art for $1,500, right? In every example here, $1,500. They also charge mileage because they've decided when they sell the artwork, they go to the artist's house, they deliver the piece of art and they hang it, right? So this one here, this is still example one, but this client is further away. They're just further away, okay? This client's close to the artist and this one's further away. This one here, it's the same, they're further away than each other. That's why it's costing more petrol, right? So the close customer is $150 they're gonna make, and this one's $2,000 they're gonna make. Then the cost of the art is exactly the same, right? In this example here, it is for every $100 they sell an artwork, it costs them $80 for paint, the canvas, everything else. It's 80%, right? And it's constantly the same. It's constantly costing them $80 for every 100 they earn, okay? Now the driving costs, in this one here, in this example here, they've decided to make $20. It's going to cost them $80 in petrol. They are going to make $20, right? For every $100. Same here, this is 80%. It's costing them 80%, but they're making $20 off every $100, okay? Good. In this example here, they've decided to they started losing clients because they weren't happy paying for the fuel, right? They weren't happy that they were making money off the fuel. So they've gone, I'm not going to make any money. I'm still going to charge you for it, but it's going to be an in and an out. So here the customer paid $150 for fuel and it cost this business owner $150. So they made nothing. Here, it cost $2,000 to drive to this customer and they charged them $2,000. So they're deciding to make nothing, right? So they're making nothing off that driving time in example 2. What they should do is they should have 2 different profit centers, right? 2 different departments, being mileage and sales. Because can you see here, in this example, they're making nothing off the driving, both at 100% cost, but it is change and they're making 20%, it's costing them 80% on doing the artwork. So all these percentages are the same up here. These cost percentages are the same, but this gross profit percentage is not. It's saying that for every $100 you earn, you're getting $18. But here, for every $100 you earn, you're getting $9. But that's not right. You're not earning, see, that's an in and an out, and in and an out. You're earning still $300 off this artwork, right? Because the price of the artwork and the cost of the artwork hasn't changed, but you've messed up your percentage here. It's telling you you're working smarter there and harder here. But you're not. You have got a muddled up, you're taking an average of an average profit center, and this one has increased in volume. See, this has gone from, this is 100% of your sales, your revenue coming in, 1,650, right? It's 100%, but your volume of driving has massively increased in this one, which is skewing your result down the bottom. Now this is so technical. I'm gonna do a longer session. I'll be here, this video will go on for 2 hours, right? So, but can you see that you really need to have departments? Otherwise you're taking an average of an average. And this number isn't really showing you your margin. It's showing you nonsense. This number here shows you margin and units, right? I'm going to go on to another topic here. We'll cover this off in so much detail in another video, right? But I'm just showing you how departmental reporting is so important. Okay, another thing that is so important is also looking at the number of units. Just say I have sales of $100,000, right? And I decide to put up my prices by 10%. So therefore, my sales are going to go up to 110,000, and say my costs don't go up, right? So my costs were before $80 for every $100, 80%, and now they become, my costs go down to 73. So I've put up my price for my customers, but my suppliers haven't put up their price. So I've got a better margin. I've gone from 20% to 27%. That's so great. But you need to always look at units as well, right? You need to look at, are you losing market share? Because just say I put up my prices by 10%, but I didn't really understand mathematics. And I put up my price by 10%, and this month, this didn't come to fruition, but this happened. My revenue went from 100 to 105. My suppliers didn't put up their price, so I was still now benefiting at $73. I was spending $73 for every $100 I made, same as this example, but I've earned $28.35. See, my gross profit number is the same, still 27%, but this is now showing me I'm losing units. Customers haven't been happy with this 10% increase, so they have dropped away. If everything stayed the same, customer numbers stayed the same, units, and your cost of goods sold stayed the same, so your percentage increased, you should have this number here, right? But if you're not measuring it, you have lost customers. They weren't happy with that price increase. Again, we're going to go through it in a lot more detail in another video, because you can see this is so complicated, but so key. And like I say, I've seen so many accountants give rubbish budgets to people. The other thing you should focus on as well when you're doing your budget is look at the ceiling. If you can work out the ceiling in your business. We had a beauty salon client and we worked out the maximum they could earn. And what we did to look out the maximum they could earn, we looked at how many rooms they had, right? This is taking products away. This is just by the beauty services. So we looked at the number of rooms they had, the number of hours they're open, the number of days they were open, the average spend, and the staff. We looked at all those things and played around with them and worked out that client's maximum revenue, right? When you're buying a business, you should check if you can work out a ceiling as well. With a restaurant, if you don't have any takeaway service, you're basically renting a table, right? So you can look at average spend, how quickly you turn over a table, all those, how many tables you've got, how many customers you could have. You can work out your ceiling too, and how to increase your ceiling by increasing your average spend, by reducing the time between tables, cupboards, do you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So you can work out in your business a lot of ceilings and a lot of maximums you can earn, and how to improve on those by, like, for example, you might want to, in this beauty salon, you might want to increase the average spend and reduce the number of hours you're open, because you've got beauty therapists that are just idle, not doing anything with their time, so you can reduce staff costs. There's so many things you can play around with, right? When you know all the bits that drive your revenue. All right, so your budget is complicated, so we will go through this in detail in a different video, but if you're not looking at these things, you don't have a great budget, and it's not going to help you grow your business. And if your accountant isn't doing this for you, come talk to us if this is too complicated. We will do it for you and work it through step by step by step, so you understand it. It's really hard to explain this complicated stuff in, oh my goodness, it's already gone for 19 minutes and 26 seconds. Okay, I'm going to end there, and we will go through each of these examples in a granular detail so you really understand it. Know your numbers, grow your business.